Hello again, this is Nathan from Snap, and today we're going to be looking at uploading a list of participants to your survey within Snap Online. It's broken down into three main sections. We'll be uploading the participant list, so uploading an Excel spreadsheet, seeding data from the Excel spreadsheet into the various questions within Snap, and then finally adding an invitation and potentially reminder to be sent out to each participant. So let's move into the software. We'll be making use of the travel survey, which we created in the previous videos. And if I go straight into collect, and then down the side we have participants. And we don't currently have any participants set up, so if I click on participant list and then simply upload. So today I'm going to use an Excel spreadsheet just held on my desktop. And within here we have a number of different options available to us. So we will be sending out invitations and potentially a reminder. You can see Snap has automatically looked into my spreadsheet and found a column header called email and assigned that to the email address field. Obviously if you don't have a column with a similar name, you will just need to manually go and choose that. We're also going to take some data from the Excel spreadsheet and use it to personalise the invitation. So in our example later, I'll be using the customer's name. We're going to allow Snap Online to track our respondents, and this will also allow us to seed data. So again, we have certain information on the Excel spreadsheet which we know about the customer already, so that will allow us to seed certain questions. But for that to happen, we do need to set a login field, so it needs to be unique, so I'm going to use the email address column header from my Excel spreadsheet. So that's how Snap will be tracking each person. And then finally we're going to confirm that we do want to actually seed data from the Excel spreadsheet into the questionnaire. The options for group questionnaire and subject field, we're not going to worry about that one today, but that's for course evaluation or 360 evaluations, which we'll be looking at in future tutorials. So first area we're looking at is the invitation, and we have the option to take data from this spreadsheet and seed it into the actual email invitation that's going to be sent out. So today I'm going to personalise that email address or that email with the customer's name. And obviously we could add additional ones if we wanted, but I'll just leave it as name for today. Then we're looking at seeding the actual questionnaire itself. So in my Excel spreadsheet I have a column called gender, and in Snap I've got a question called are you male or female? So question 5. So again I will add that I want to seed those, and then that also gives me the option to map across the different options. So in Excel I've got the words male and female. In Snap I've got the equivalent code labels, and you notice that Snap has automatically worked out that male is going to match with male and female is going to match with female. Obviously in your case you may not have a direct match, so you may have boy and girl in Excel and male and female in Snap, so it's just a case of dropping down the menus and choosing what matches with what. I've also got a column header called age, and I'm going to match that with the age question, so question 6. And again add that one in, and then I'll look to do the mapping. Now in this example I don't have a direct map, so in Excel I have 1, 2 and 5. In Snap I've got the different labels, so 1 is going to match with 18 to 24, 2 is going to match with 25 to 39, and 5 is going to match with 60 plus. So if you can ensure that your text in Excel matches your text in Snap, this step will be a lot quicker because everything will match automatically. Okay. Again, we can obviously add as many different columns to match with as many different questions as we wish, but I'll leave it as it is. We then get a confirmation page just to confirm what we've just set up. So assuming that we're all happy, we can just upload. And in my case today, it's just a small spreadsheet with 3 participants. And you can see that displays them here. We have the option, if we want to go in and edit an individual. So we can edit the email address, the seeded data, anything we wish. We can also disable them. If I was to click on the arrow for any one of them, it also gives us the option to see exactly what's being seeded, and even better, we can have a quick preview of that questionnaire. So again, it is just a preview, doesn't count towards any of your data, and you can see that's automatically preceded the female question and that they're 18 to 24. We also have the option to individually delete people. Across the top we've got some other options. We have the option to export this list, and that will export into Excel or CSV again, and that will also include all that seeded data. We could delete everybody on the list, but it actually gives you options. Do you want to delete everybody, or perhaps everyone who's opted out, or everyone where they've been enabled or disabled, or perhaps everyone who's not started, finished it, whatever you want. But today I'll obviously delete that or cancel that. Likewise, if you've got a survey where some people have started it, maybe you're doing a pilot and you want to reset everyone, you can again reset everyone, or depending on their various statuses. And that will put everyone back to not started. And then adding individuals. We can just add individuals one at a time. And again allows us to say which information is going to be seeded. So we have our list of participants. We can then look to set up the invitation. So this will be the initial invitation which gets sent out when the survey starts, or you can specify that it gets sent out so many days later. The subject is the subject header of the email. And then below that we have the main body of the invitation itself. So as mentioned earlier, I'm going to be seeding data from the Excel spreadsheet into the invitation just to personalize it. And then for the actual link for the actual survey, we have 2 options, Survey Link and Survey Link Auto. Survey Link will take us to a login page, or Survey Link Auto will take the participant straight to question 1. In the background it will actually be logging them in. Now across the top we have got a number of different options to personalize this and add your company branding with different fonts, etc. You've also got the option to insert your own HTML, but I'm going to keep it nice and simple and just save. We've also got the option to add additional messages, and typically this would be a reminder, and you can see by default it's set to go 7 days after the initial invitation, and you can have as many reminders as you wish. So you may wish to have one going out on day 7, a second reminder going out 3 days, but that would be 3 days after the initial reminder. But today I'm just going to have my initial invitation. Of course, you'd want to test this. Don't send out 50,000 surveys and emails without testing them. So you can send a test invitation to yourself. Now, in this particular example today, my survey is actually already live, so today I've got the option to start sending invitations out. Alternatively, if my survey wasn't already live, I would go back to the Collect tab, start interviewing, and at the same time that would give me the option to start the mailer. Now, we do have a couple of options available under Overview. Under Change Interview Settings, who will the emails look like they're coming from? If someone does press the reply button, who are those emails going to be fired back to? And also, when will Snap Online stop trying to send them invitations? Under Change Interview Access, we're confirming that Snap will be identifying who each individual is. We, by default, only allow each person to fill in the survey once, although you can obviously allow them to fill it in multiple times if you wish. And how long have they got to complete the survey? So you can close that survey down so many days after that invitation has been sent to them. Okay, so that ends the questionnaire design side of Snap Online. Join me for the final session when we'll be looking at how to analyse your data.